There we are. There we are.
Hello.
We're here. We're here. Kevin looks a little different.
Couldn't help it.
Kevin's camera decided to not want to display his face in proper brightness. It also looks like it's pulsing. And I love it. Whoa. Whoa.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh, that's good. Wow. How you doing?
It's actually Mike's fault. Mike was like before the podcast. No, Mike was actually at 9 p.m. Can you restart your computer? I was like, okay.
Oh, is
so
me.
Here we went.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I mean.
And you know what? I said,
I'm gonna cut myself. No, you know what? I'm gonna cut myself a little bit of slack. You came on very late.
I was asleep.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought I could open my computer and be ready to go.
That's true. Yeah.
And then I came in, and it was just like, Mike's like, restart everything, and I'm like, okay.
Well,
and then my camera was like, that includes me.
Well, no, because it was wrong when it first came in too, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
That could have fixed it for all we know. Didn't happen. Let's never fight again.
It was a fight?
No.
I wish I would have known. I would have gone like twice as hard.
I would have put my boxing gloves on. Pow, pow. Don't sleep. Good to see everybody. Kevin, how's your weekend?
Exhausting.
Oh.
I streamed for 4 hours.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
And the thing is, I didn't even play Pokemon for the majority of those 4 hours.
You played like an hour's worth of Pokemon. It was basically football. Like you played like half an hour's worth of football in the 4 hours that you were playing football.
Like honestly, because we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But it was just me waiting for my matches most of the time.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, hey, you're still number one in our eyes. So which one did you bring? Did you bring the Venusaur that everyone brought, or did you bring the Zacian that everyone brought?
I brought both, actually.
Well, there you go. I'm also noticing a lot of Groudon, surprisingly. Unsurprisingly, I'm seeing a lot of Instant. Whatever, we'll talk about it more in the thing. But yeah, good to see everybody. Kevin's camera is taking a poop, but that happens sometimes. And it's good to see everyone. Lupus, always good to see you. Sing it, Mike, during the opening, not the opening theme, but the M- remix of Driftvale City. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, your mic on?
I turned it on for like 5 seconds just to like boop along with it. It felt like a very boopy song. Boop boop beep boop boop beep boop 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 beep boop. Oh, it's like oh, what's the thing that everyone always memes? Oh, the Mr. Krabs, like, hello, I would like you to play that song again. You know, the one that goes boop boop beep boop boop beep beep boop 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 beep. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
You are a strange SpongeBob encyclopedia. Whoa, you are getting brighter by the minute.
I'm trying to fix it.
You're doing a great job, actually. It pretty much is there. Well, now you're just like a floating head in the darkness.
That's what I like.
Okay, cool. Then you're doing great.
I should have fixed the Wigardia Leviosus, so I'm not like pulsing anymore.
Was that just your autofocus?
Yeah, it was just autofocus.
Wow, that camera's autofocus isn't great.
It's like an $80 camera, Mike. What do you
I mean, that's fair. Whoa. I was watching that during the Players Cup. I didn't want to say anything because I was like, "Oh, he's gonna get thrown if I do that."
It's not even that. I just don't even know why that happened either.
Yeah.
I don't know why a lot of things happen during the Players Cup.
I want to talk about that, all that and more in today's Pokésports podcast. Let me turn on my lights. Oh, we're blue in the corner. I need to fix that red, man. It's there. It's just not showing, and I don't like that. It's because I don't have enough corner.
Second red.
Anyway, let's get into it. All right, folks. This is Pokésports podcast number 72. It's a good time. We'll see you in it in just a second. Here we go. And hello. Not and. Let's start that again. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Pokésports, a competitive Pokemon podcast. I am Mike, and I play with no Players Cup 3s on the field.
I'm Kevin, and I play with exactly 4 rounds of Players Cup 3 on the field, but nothing more.
You did it.
I made it farther than before.
Yes. Players Cup 1, you made it 2 rounds in, right? You went like 1 and 1, right?
Yeah, I think I just lost and lost.
Oh. Well, fair. Well, you got to participate in 2 rounds at least.
Yeah, I got a participation trophy Players Cup 1.
Yeah, you did it.
Because I went against Corviknight with my triple flying weakness team.
That's fair.
And then Players Cup 2, I did win,
mm-hmm.
loss.
3 rounds in.
And then this time around, I went win, loss.
Okay. Okay.
4 rounds in.
You got 4 rounds in though. That's impressive. How many more rounds before you would have made it into the top 16?
I think I would have needed 5 wins to make top 16 right away.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people that got top 16 went 5-0.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's, again, congratulations. You're getting better every time. Players Cup 4 is going to be, Players Cup 4 is not going to be yours.
I'll see you Players Cup 7, guys.
Players Cup 7, you're taking it all the way.
This is my year.
This is my time.
Players Cup 7 is my time. I've been training my whole life for this.
Kevin's just prepping for Players Cup 7. I like that.
I just need 7 buys and I'll be there in the finals.
You're close. So I want to talk about it. I want to ask you so many questions, but first I feel like we should blast through what little news we have, because this is a Players Cup weekend, so obviously they're not going to go dropping anything on us. But the Spikemuth Cup was also this week. So speaking of like things that Pokemon probably wasn't doing, but then also they did a whole tournament like in the same weekend as their other tournament. Spikemuth Cup happened. That, for anybody who doesn't remember, is the gimmickless tournament. That's the one where you go in and Dynamax isn't an option.
Question mark potential VGC format, huh?
I kind of want to see it happen.
Honestly,
kind of really want to see it happen.
I think it would be okay. It wouldn't be super toxic, but at least they have the code in the game, so maybe it's just an easy toggle that they can implement.
You know?
Who knows?
I would actually really like that if they just for a month, just like this is series 8.5. April, let's get Dynamax out of here. See what happens. Then series 9, you go back to series 7 and everybody leaves anyway. So I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. It won't happen. That won't happen. But I'm interested to see the results for Spikemuth Cup. We don't have them yet because they literally just ended like an hour ago. But anybody who participated can probably go and see that in their Pokemon home.
Why are they hosting the exact same thing as a major? I don't know.
That is my question.
Oh, well.
Why? Why would this happen?
Why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Why not?
You did it. You did it. Yeah, they had to give the people in the Players Cup, or people not in the Players Cup, something to do this weekend. Yeah, basically.
Fair.
Fair. Exactly. All right. Well, that's the news.
The news is Spikemuth Cup.
Yeah. The news
I
is
just learned
Spikemuth
what
Cup.
Spikemuth was.
Really?
I didn't know that was the name of a city.
Yeah, and it's really it's a cool name because that's like the city where Dynamax wasn't a thing, where like Marnie's
Just
older
cause.
brother like was the gym leader in it, just didn't use Dynamax because they were like, you know what, this is the gimmick for the game, but what if it wasn't? You
I
ever
mean,
think of that?
that's the thing too. They created a gimmick, Dynamax, and
Yeah.
instead of like waiting a year to create a Pokemon that counters Dynamax, they created it in the same game. They
Right.
created 3, in fact. 3
Yeah.
legendary Pokemon that were just like, you know that gimmick that we spent so much time developing? These 3 ruin it. Here you go.
When did I talk about this recently? I talked about it recently, but I don't understand Zacian Zamazenta for that exact reason. I talked about this on stream on Friday. Was
Oh
they
yeah?
made they made a whole gimmick around making your Pokemon big and making your Pokemon powerful. And then they made a Pokemon that completely counters it. And then they were like, yeah, we're just going to release this into the competitive meta. I'm sure what can go wrong. Everybody, a third of people out there are now bringing a Zacian in their
Myself.
team, including you, Kevin. On a scale of 1 to 10, with your 4 participations in the Players Cup, how salty are you? Are you any degrees of salt in this?
Not this time around. This time was completely and entirely my fault.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, nice.
No, I mean it's nice to recognize that, right? It's
Sure.
just like realize that's why you lost. I mean, it's better than getting hacked. I'd have that any day.
You're not wrong.
But no, I think a lot of the matches came down to me making poor decisions and me just assuming my players. I don't want to sound my opponents. I don't want to sound rude, but like just assuming they were gonna make better plays. I did make a lot of bold predictions sometimes, and that ended up costing me because my opponents were literally going for the most obvious brainless plays most of the time, and that just kind of challenges me as a competitor. That means that maybe I shouldn't be making those big plays, right? Try to get a feel for my opponent before actually making those plays. Like there's no first turn predictions here. Like first see what they're doing, because there was a point. Okay, I'll describe a point of a match. They had a I don't remember the exact Pokemon. It was a Pokemon going for Max Quake. I'm gonna say it's a Groudon, even though I know it's not a Groudon, but Groudon has a ground move. So they had a Groudon, and I had a Zacian on the field. So what I was doing was trying to stall out their Trick Room because they had Trick Room up.
Sure.
So I was being like, okay, my Zacian's on the field. They're gonna go for the ground move. So I swapped into my Thundurus, and they went for Max Quake or Thundurus. I went, good. That's one turn's fixed up. Now they're gonna go for Rock Slide, Rock Fall. So I'm gonna swap back in Zacian. So swap back in Zacian, takes that Rock Fall. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, they can't possibly imagine I'm gonna do this again, right? And they can't possibly fall for it again. So I'm not gonna switch into my Thundurus because they're not gonna go for Max Quake. That would be ridiculous.
Right.
Guess what they did?
They went for Max Quake.
It's like plays like that. I'm just like, why?
Right. No, I see what you're saying, and honestly, I make so many of those kind of mistakes as well. I mean, a lot of my mistakes are like completely not using the right move, but I feel like quite often I'm like over analyzing what I think my opponent's going to do. I'm like, okay, if I were my opponent and I was trying to style on me, what would I do in order to like really make my opponent say, come on, there you go. So I kind of defeat myself before the action is executed. Yeah, I know the exact moment that you're talking about in that third game where you lost. Yeah, it hurts to see, but like I feel like streaming it in front of people, like you're at least justified in that they know what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, you can at least explain the reason behind the process, right? It's like
And it exists online now. Anybody can go and watch what just happened.
I mean, they might have a very hard time finding the actual battles in that 4 hour long video. You
Well,
might encounter some max raid battles in the middle of there just because I literally had nothing else to do.
yeah, like what are you even supposed to do? I feel like if you're sitting there for 4 hours, if you're not like turning off your game in between and just doing something else while you're waiting for your match, then it's just fatigue waiting to happen.
Yeah, and like part of me, I was like, I'm not gonna play, games online. It's like the last thing I need is more Pokemon,
Yeah.
like more competitive Pokemon. It's kind of you wanted that turn off your brain kind of moment, and then just chill, not burn yourself out.
Yeah.
I spent time looking at Angelos games, Armand Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
Saw him play through his matches as well. I took some time to commentate.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, he played well.
Oh, cool.
He was running Lapdog. You dirty
Lapdog,
meta
huh?
player.
Well,
Look at all these Zacians, man.
I guess speaking of dirty meta player, so what did you end up bringing?
So I brought Zacian,
Mm-hmm.
Charizard, Gigantamax Charizard, Sableye, which was like the MVP of the whole tournament for me. The matches that I won because of Sableye. Thundurus Incarnate, Urshifu, and Venusaur. Is that 6?
That is 6.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what I decided to go with. And actually, I'm looking at a lot of the players.
Yeah.
And
there is a Sableye.
There is a Sableye. Someone in top 16 NA brought Sableye in the winners bracket. And I'm also looking at some top 16 teams from the EU side. I'll go ahead and send those over to you because we don't have those. And so many people running Charizard. So many people running Charizard in the EU. So I'm like, okay, so at least I understood the meta a little bit to understand that Charizard was where this thing was going.
Yeah, I mean, one of the people in the top 16 was Marco Martinez, Mars_VGC, who brought his Zacian, Sableye, Charizard, Thundurus Incarnate, same as you, but then instead of the Venusaur and Urshifu, brought Incineroar and Gastrodon.
So, which is a good read for, just being able to deal with Kyogre very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Now, I guess one of the maybe next times you can write down is there's this Pokemon that's pretty high in the meta right now. A lot of people are kind of using it. You see it here and there. It's called Incineroar.
Incineroar. There's so many people that make fun of me on YouTube videos that say, a team without Incineroar? Is Kevin going crazy? Because I bring it to every single team, mostly.
But you see why here, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, this is a good Pokemon.
This is a note to everybody who has ever said that in the comment section. Like, in the top 16 NA players, let me just do some quick math here. 6 + 4 is 10. 10 out of 16 people brought an Incineroar.
And if you want some really funny math, if you also look at just the winners bracket, the only 8 players that didn't bring Incineroar were on rain teams. Every other player brought Incineroar.
Incineroar wasn't there because it literally couldn't fit.
Oh, that is so funny.
Wow, that is very, very funny. I mean, a lot of people brought Zacians,
how different NA is from EU as well. There's not that many Colossals in NA. I think the only Colossal in top 16 in NA was Joe UX9's team. But if you go down to EU, they had so many Colossals. There's a Colossal by Roberto Peretti. There was a Colossal, I know I saw more. A Colossal by Roxon, another Colossal by Daniel, or Zedkin. Oh, geez, different languages.
Can you explain something to me? What is the fascination with Dragonite and Colossal as a combination there, as a core? I get what it does. There's the whole like Aqua Jet or Surf into weakness policy steam engine, but why Dragonite specifically?
That Dragonite's the only Pokemon that can get Aqua Jet and Surf and has inner focus, so it can't get fake out.
Oh, it's the inner focus.
Yeah. Because the reason why Dragapult is so good is because it can't get fake outed because it's a ghost type, but Dragonite fills that same role.
Yeah, but why not just bring the Dragapult?
Because Dragapult doesn't get Aqua Jet. It's a way
Oh,
to have it so that you don't need to have the Urshifu there to help. The Dragonite fulfills the same role that a Dragapult and an Urshifu would fulfill, so that just relieves your team of one spot.
right. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Which this person, Daniel or Zetkin, decided to stick with a Ditto.
I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah,
what he
you're
has
right. There's a Ditto there.
on.
Daniel Oztekin brought Kyogre, Regieleki, Dragonite, Colossal, Whimsicott, and Ditto. And made it into top 16. So boy, do I have egg on my face. Look at that. That's amazing.
And I mean, Colossal's good, guys.
Yeah.
We knew it was gonna happen.
It's true. And I mean, the weather wars clearly are not over. Clearly are not ogre. Because we've got mad use of Kyogre, mad use of Groudon in the EU. Do we have a lot of use of Groudon? Yes, we definitely do. Wow. Both Kyogre and Groudon in NA too. It's almost like they're good Pokemon or something.
And then A has 3 teams in top 16 that are identical to Addy,
no, you're right.
Subramanian,
Mm-hmm.
who was top 8 in winners bracket. You have Battle Room, who was top 8 in losers, and then Regav, who was top 8 in losers as well. All running the Groudon, Venusaur, Charizard, Incineroar, Porygon 2, and Grimmsnarl. When you talk about 6 Pokemon that are real good, those are 6 Pokemon that are real good.
Those are 6 Pokemon that are real good. That's
And then you see like different
true.
variants of that though. Like that core is seen so many different teams. I've
Mhm.
seen it on so many different teams. Like you even see it in Jackson Flinch, who's running a very similar team but not running a Charizard, running a Thundurus instead. Or even Paul Chua, who's running an Umbreon and an Alecki instead of a Grimmsnarl and a Porygon 2, which is essentially almost the same Pokemon, except he doesn't really have a Trickromancer in that sense. But
Mhm.
he still has the screens and he still has the irritating, annoying, never die Pokemon there.
The
So yeah,
irritating, annoying, never die Pokemon being
Umbreon.
Really?
Umbreon will never die in Sun because Moonlight is 75% healing.
Huh.
Yeah, it gets a boost in the Sun. It is dumb.
Interesting.
And then Yawns
Why
plus
are people
Snarls plus Yawn
sleeping on
plus Yawn.
people be sleeping on this Umbreon often.
Dude, Paul Chu is ahead of the meta, man.
Yeah.
It's time for an Umbreon on Pokésports.
Well, yeah, I mean actually, but it won the what was it? Was it the second women's tournament?
Oh, my memory
think
does
so.
not remember that. I'm gonna just agree with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won the most recent women's tournament. And nobody took it seriously then. It came top 16, and people probably still aren't going to take it seriously now. We'd better start seeing some Umbreon. What's up?
Dude, top 3 teams in the top 8 winners bracket of EU have Umbreon.
See, they get it.
It's time, and all those teams are in Sun, have a Charizard, have a Groudon.
They understand. They've
Oh,
figured it out.
goodness.
Wow. See, I don't know
That's
why I never thought of that
terrifying.
either. I don't know why I never thought of that one. Well, bring the Sableye allows you to keep another spot open to bring into Zacian for sure. But it also, as like part of a Sun core, it also removes the Groudon just from the game entirely. And it's like, Groudon's such a good Pokemon, man.
And it's really good next to Charizard and Venusaur too. Like that core is so gross because Groudon protects Charizard from rocks and from electricity.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense. It's just better Torkoal. A lot better
Yeah.
Torkoal.
But I will agree and I will secede that Quash, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, because Mike actually got to use my team. So
Yes.
I actually wanted to hear what your impression of my team was for
absolutely.
this whole week.
Yeah. So I tried
Because
to.
I messaged him and he ignored me.
I kept it completely under wraps. Kevin was like, "Hey, I saw your like absolutely terrible performance in the previous stream where I just lost a billion times in a row." I'm pretty sure it was a stream of all losses.
I think you kept playing till you won, and
Yeah.
it was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Mhm. Yep. So the next week, Kevin was like, "Hey, you want a team that's actually going to win? Go and use this. I've been practicing with it. I'm using it for the Players Cup. It's gonna be fine." So I tried it, and oh man, we started off the stream with like 6 or 7 wins in a row. Like
Oof.
it was just absolute destruction. You go in with the Sableye, you get that hand ready, that gloved hand, you just go
Weak.
down.
You see my love for Quash now?
It's so good. It's so good, and I wish that it weren't paired with Sableye sometimes. I feel like it's gotten worse over the years because there's, extra weaknesses to it. Before Sableye,
And now
I
there's
believe,
dark
wasn't
types.
weak to
Yeah.
anything.
Now dark types ignore prankster stuff.
Exactly. That
annoying.
too. But it it made for some pretty funny moments just with Quash. A lot of people don't see it coming. And I managed to beat that specific Dragonite and Colossal combo specifically with Quash and Max Charizard. You would quash the Colossal. The Dragonite would Aqua Jet the Colossal or Surf the Colossal or whatever. Do some damage, trigger its stuff. It still can't go because you got that hand on top of it. Charizard comes in with the Max Quake and just ruins the rest of that Colossal. Because remember, folks, Colossal is very physically defensive. It's not incredibly specially defensive at all. So, it does not want to take a Max Quake from a Charizard, my friends.
You know what's even funnier? Is
What?
the Charizard's such a good bait. It's just like, hey, I have this 4 times Rock Weak Pokemon on the field. Don't you want to
I
hit
bet
me?
you want to Rockfall. You don't get to Rockfall. No. Yeah, I mean it was a fun combination to use. I mean, up until like an hour and a half or 2 hours in, when I was getting like physically fatigued and started losing from like memory loss.
I think sucker punching the Aditi is a great idea.
I love sucker punching and DDs. I'm going to do that. All right, but that's a little bit on Players Cup. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about PC3. I want to get your honest review on your hot dog team. And we'll be doing all that and more when we come back from the break in just a second. And we're on a break. We were on a break.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. What time is it? 31:31. Haha. Save myself some editing time.
So I picked up TCG.
You did?
Yeah. It's a lot more fun. And right now I'm just playing with team decks because I'm baby. Or theme decks because I'm baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying really hard to build this Eternatus team, but geez, these cards are really hard to get online. I've just been getting some really good deals on eBay on cards that I need, like a bunch of those trainer cards with the codes on them.
Yeah.
People just sell them in bulk, and I'm like, cool, I'll take them.
Actually,
it's like $5 for 20 of them. Good.
For sure.
I'll take them all.
Absolutely. And the people who sell them, they make some pretty good money too. Like the people who not the people who sell them, but the people who like buy cards to collect. Typically what they'll do is they'll buy like a ton of cards. They'll take out all of those little codes and then they'll sell them to this one place online, like Card Cavern, I believe it is. You just give them the codes, and they'll give you like 40 cents per, which really helps to subsidize the cost of the packs, which are just getting absolutely expensive.
I was lucky enough to get a box of Battle Strikes.
Okay.
Just for retail. So I was like, okay, I'm taking this opportunity just because I haven't opened a box in a while. So I just wanted to open a box.
Wow. I
got a lot of flapples.
We had the same week. It's so weird. I at the beginning of the week, I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've opened up cards. So I ordered an ETB for Shining Fates. And so I opened the last pack. I had like, 8 or so or whatever, however many comes in an Elite Trainer box. So I opened up all but one. I opened up one on stream, and I actually have them right beside me. I got a Crobat VMAX, which isn't really worth anything, but I'm not really
That's
looking
one
for
I need
stuff
in
that
game.
Well, there you
Oh
go.
no, the VMAX isn't. No, the VMAX I don't need. I need the regular.
I got a shiny Applin. So
Oh my goodness, I got Flapples.
I mean, you got Flapples, right?
Yeah, I got a
got a
bunch of
shiny
Flapples.
Grimmsnarl, so that's nice.
Ah, you would have won Players Cup 3.
Yeah, exactly. And then I got this. They call it Amazing Rare, Evoltol. So
Is it the rainbow kind? Or
yeah, the one with the rainbow that goes like outside of the box.
Oh, that's like expense.
Some of
You
them
probably
are.
paid for the box. Yeah.
Some of them are. This one isn't.
Oh.
That's like
Well.
hold on to it for a year and we'll see what happens kind of thing.
Fair.
Once they print less of shiny face, because like they're printing a lot of cards right now.
Yeah, I mean they're not stupid. They know what's going on.
Exactly. They know what the demand is right now, right? So
I'm excited for whatever this next one is because I actually really want a Calyrex. Like I like Calyrex as a Pokemon, like the Ghost Rider and other Rider, Ice Rider. I hate to go against it.
It's not very fun. Ghost Rider and Ice Rider. I got absolutely destroyed by an Ice Rider the other day, and I'm never going to forget that. Glacial Lance is like burned into my skull.
A Pokemon's too good when you're too afraid of it getting 1 KO.
Mm-hmm.
Once it gets 1 KO, you're like, okay.
Can I just... I got to say, though, with the TCG Online, that's what you're playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of its... Well, okay, hot take. I'm not a fan of its UI. I think that the Pokemon trading card game online has a absolutely garbage UI, and it's very hard to play.
Well, when I went on FloatyCast, that was kind of like a conversation for 20 minutes. It's like the reason behind it is because TCGO is only a Western thing, or yeah, it's only a Western thing. Like Japan doesn't adopt it; they don't have it; it doesn't exist in Japan, and the Pokemon Company is gonna probably never support the UI because it's just like outsourced, right? It's like they hired someone to figure it out for, the US and Europe, and that's about as far as that went. And once it's been like outsourced, it hasn't been updated since. So it's just that.
Wow. So it's been the same thing for like 8-10 years, something like that.
I mean,
wow.
There's probably been some subtle
minor
updates, right?
yeah.
But nothing like client rework. The client, whatever the client was 10 years ago, is what the client is.
Because man, oh man, like online card games
really
have
lagged.
come so far. Online card games have come so far. Like Magic the Gathering Arena is a decent card game. Hearthstone, I think, for all of the problems that Hearthstone has, its UI is absolutely not one of them.
I like clicking things. Yeah.
It's so
ding,
so
ding,
good.
Ding, 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 ding.
The way that they've built that, I am a major fan of how Hearthstone looks. Again, lots of problems kind of in the game, in the metas, but hey.
I don't think that the UI looks bad for TCGO. I think that it performs bad.
Really?
Like, when you click things, they don't always click. And, when you're trying to load up a pack, the whole screen will freeze.
Oh.
There's just too many cards in the game. They really need to cycle some of them out, right?
I wish they'd modernize it. To me, it feels very like Adobe Flash Player 2005 kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna mute my microphone here.
Phew! I made the sound effect for him. Don't worry.
Kevin probably heard it if my microphone didn't peak, but anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm not a fan of TCG Online, but I think the game is really, really good.
Yeah, this is my first time actually playing Pokemon TCG at all. I literally didn't know anything about anything until I just played TCG Online. But now everything makes sense. It's so easy.
Hooray!
It's essentially like a Pokemon battle, right? Like,
yeah,
it's 1-on-1. You got some in the bench. Except like weaknesses and resistances mean very little.
Right.
I feel like type matches. Like, I learned that a water can hit a water for the exact same amount of damage. I'm like, cool. Then I was like, good. Oh, water's not weak to grass in this. Cool. only weak
Yeah,
to
the
electric. There's like a
learn
weird different
unlearning
thing.
weaknesses is pretty big. Yeah. There's no dual typings. There's no like yeah. There's no more than one weaknesses. Yeah, it's rough. Okay, let's go back to the actual show though. We've spent a good 7 minutes speaking on this. All right,
You
so
got it.
38:55. Here we go. And we're back. Welcome back to Pokésports, everybody. Over the break, we were talking a little bit about the TCG. During my stream, I had a bunch of online codes that I was just giving out because I had bought an Elite Trainer box, and I was like, "What am I going to do with these little white cards?" And that was a lot of fun. And then somehow, without speaking about it, Kevin is now also getting into TCGO. So
Me and Mike had the exact same week without talking to each other at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
We just literally lived like
Things have
harmonious
progressed in
lives
our
together.
friendship. Is weird, yeah. And that was the for each. Yeah. Uh, no, like I think it's cool. My take on trading card game online. People who were here during the break probably got this as well. Is just like it. I think it's lacking. It's so in the past. It hasn't been updated in a long time, and if it does get updated, its updates are very very small. So it's
It's an old client. Please fix today.
It's an old client. Please fix today. All right, let's talk hot dog. I was kind of expecting more hot dog this Players Cup. Really, we only saw one in
We
NA.
had- Yeah, got a couple more in EU, but
Yeah,
mainly
two,
just one in NA.
3 between EU and NA, and most of the ones that brought Charizard and Zacian also brought Venusaur, which pretty much makes sense. If you're going to bring solar power, you might as well bring chlorophyll.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the decision to bring the hot dog.
So I was in I was really decided on Charizard. I felt like Charizard was in a good place in the meta, and clearly it was because a lot of the top players did bring Charizard as well. It just deals with the top Pokemon very well because you got things like, let's scroll through. You got things like Zacian, you have things like Rillaboom, Amoonguss. Weather helps you counter Kyogre really well, and that's why I went for the Sableye there, because there's nothing better than self-setting your weather. Because when it comes to Kyogre versus Groudon, in my opinion, it comes down to just whoever plays it better.
Mm-hmm.
The opponent can counter your Sun very easily just by switching into Kyogre, or you could switch in your Sun. Like it plays an extra mind games. You don't have to
never
think
switch
too
in
much
my Sun.
You never with Sableye, you never have to use that. You just be like, okay, I'm always gonna go last because I'm always gonna set the Sun last. And what's really nice about Sableye is that it's so slow. So it'll be one of the slowest pranksters. So even if they decide to self-set with like Rain Dance Tornadus,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going last and I'm still getting Sun Up last, which is a very big detriment to like Kyogre and obviously water types in general. What else is on the team? Venusaur, because Venusaur, it's a Sun team, so I brought Venusaur. Zacian, because it's dumb, and I wanted to use it because I wanted to use dumb Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying really hard to be very try-hard this time around, and
Yeah,
I think I did just that.
You were trying hard to be try hard?
Yeah, I was trying hard to be try-hard.
Oh, wow.
I mean, what did I run in the first place? I ran like a Bisharp.
Yeah. No,
I
yeah.
ran like an Ursh.
You tried to be that like cool guy who was the one person who didn't bring a Grimmsnarl or who didn't bring an Incineroar.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were.
I still did that, yeah. Not on purpose, but I did that.
I mean, there were some pretty cool teams. There were some pretty like interesting one-offs that weren't all, Charizard, not Urshifu even, barely Urshifu, Grimmsnarl, Venusaur, Groudon, Zacian kind of thing. That wasn't all one team, by the way. That's a bunch of Pokemon that existed in many of the teams. Like Preston Duff, looks like his in-game name is Zordor, brought a Zacian, Urshifu, Gigantamax Urshifu, Entei, Zapdos, Suicune, and Metagross. So really, really liked those, I guess, pseudo legendaries, or like really high meta, not high meta, but like close to pseudo legendaries in Metagross's case. I don't know if
Hmm.
anyone would call Metagross a pseudo legendary, but definitely the Entei,
I would.
Zapdos, and Suicune.
I think Metagross is a pseudo.
You think so?
I think Gen 3 was like the generation of pseudo legends. They had like four.
It
No, they
felt
had
like it, yeah.
Salamence, and Metagross, right? I'm gonna say it was.
Lupus Rex just found the title to today's podcast, called "A Good Day to Try Hard." So I want to thank you for that. Excuse me as I type that in. Uh, in EU, I'm seeing in the losers bracket Red Silver, or Hippolyte Bernard. I may be mispronouncing Hippolyte. Brought a Palkia, Rotom Heat, Moltres, Galarian Moltres, Mamoswine, Grimmsnarl, and Ferrothorn.
That's a real Kevin team right there.
Yeah,
Any team with a Mamoswine is a Kevin team.
think so.
I know exactly what that Mamoswine was doing. That was ice sharding the weakness policy right there. Bada bing done.
For Moltres.
Yeah, for Moltres.
Mm.
Palkia is also a really good check to Sun and Rain. It's one of the best checks to both weathers.
Telepathy pretty good also.
Oh, that's a good point. You got telepathy EQs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Also the Rotom that doesn't get hit by EQs. You have the Ferrothorn that's like, I dare you to Trick Room.
Yeah.
I dare you.
I
have 4 Iron Heads to use.
Yeah.
Or Iron Defenses.
I also want to give a big shout out to Gilgamesh, Alex Della Pasqua, who brought a Duskmane Necrozma Thunderous Incarnate, Volcarona, G-Max Grimmsnarl, Tapu Fini, and Mimikyu.
My dude.
Not bad. Making it to
Not
winner's
messing around.
bracket through that.
Also 3 Ferrothorns in EU. Hello?
That's a lot of Ferrothorns in EU, actually.
That's a lot of Ferrothorns at all.
Yeah.
I really didn't think Ferrothorn was meta, but hey, here you go. I mean, Ferrothorn, you'll know this, Mike. Ferrothorn's just kind of that one Pokemon that if you ignore it for too long, it's a problem. It'll just sit there and never die.
Yep. Ignore it for long enough because you think it's not a threat, and it'll become a threat.
It'll be like, I have Leech Seeds on everybody and +6 defenses. I go for Protect and I body press. Hello.
Yeah. You have your hand that presses. I have my body. Okay, so what did your team do well against? What did your team do not do well against?
Let's start with what it did.
Sure.
What I was disappointed by. The biggest issue for me was Trick Room and Guarantee Trick Room. My team didn't have any way of stopping Redirection plus Sash, and I went against 2 people that had Redirection plus Sash, and that was very annoying for me. Typically when it came to just regular Indeedee leads, what I did was, bring the Urshifu, KO the Indeedee, and then bring in a Sidemon, KO the other Pokemon, whatever it was. If it was a Nihilego, I'd bring something with a ground move. If it was Calyrex Ice, I'd bring my Charizard, just Wildfire it. But I feel like when I encountered, it was just Redirection plus Focus Sash, which means I would have to double hit the Sidemon, which wasn't possible. My team lacked a lot of spread moves. My way around this was trying to, just Charizard Heat Wave, and then set up Sun and just try and do a lot of damage, just in like a spread move sense. It wasn't enough damage. I needed I feel like I needed like a double spread move. Or I was like just having a shower thought this morning too. I was looking at my team, I'm like, dude, I would have wrecked if I just brought a Duraludon to this.
Really?
I would have just redirected that whole, problem, and just one shot the Calyrex with
Duraludon's
the
back.
I mean, I could have been like, it would have actually helped. I would have been able to KO the Trick Room setters and win the games.
Can you imagine if you brought a Duraludon? I'm pretty sure you would be one of the only people who brought a Duraludon in the Players' Cup 3.
I was looking at it, I was like, dang, man. 0.007% Duraludon usage right now. But it would have helped. It honestly would have. I'm not even memeing, guys.
No, no, yeah, I get it. What would you have
Um,
replaced for the Duraludon?
Probably Thundurus. Thundurus was my most underwhelming Pokemon to me, believe it
Hmm.
or not. I mean, the Assault Vest came in handy, but no one was running Intimidate against me. They weren't that dumb. I guess Thundurus just being on the team was enough for me because people just didn't bring their Incineroars against me because they're like, okay, kid's running Thundurus. I'm not gonna attempt it.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, like you may have done better if in your individual games you had a Duraludon instead of a Thundurus, but those games wouldn't have looked like that if you had brought the Duraludon instead of the Thundurus. They would have looked a lot more Fire Catty.
I think if I were gonna rearrange the whole team, because I was already thinking about how I was gonna make the team better.
Yeah.
Not for like YouTube video because you guys are tired of seeing Charizard. I wasn't done with Charizard. There was also a moment on the stream. I'm pretty sure you saw that where my Charizard got one shot by Ization.
Yep.
At
Yep. Where you
with
Dynamaxed it and it
Beh-
went for Behemoth Blade and totally ruined your life. Yep.
a helping hand boost to Behemoth Blade.
The helping hand, yeah, and it was on Pokemon that we didn't know or we didn't think to have helping hand. What was it?
I think it was Mimikyu.
Oh,
Not
no.
Mimikyu. It was something.
It was
The
something,
thing is,
but man, like it was rough.
the helping hand is what threw it over the top though.
Yeah.
Because I think you get 200 plus stab, so that's base 1. That's base 300.
Mm-hmm.
Resisted, so half 150. I would have lived to 150 HP. The helping hand's what brought it to the moon. Like
Right.
well beyond that. It turned the 300 base power multiplied it by 1.5 times again. And yeah, that's too much. It's more HP than my Charizard had.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was I
that's
saying?
gonna bug me. Not knowing what that Pokemon was. It wasn't Lapras, was it?
I think it was Whimsicott had helping hand.
No, it was a Pokemon that we were like, what? It's using helping hand? No, it was Whimsicott. You're absolutely right. I actually just found it.
Yeah, I think it was Whimsicott.
Yeah. Oh no, I found the exact moment and I'm staring at it and I'm sad.
You're sad. But yeah, if I was going for the team,
Mm-hmm.
I would keep the Charizard. I would keep the Charizard. Put in a Groudon. Remove the Zacian.
Right.
Put in a Lapras. Keep the Venusaur. That's 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Urshifu Durlodon.
I think you should try that. I think you should try it. I think like it's worth doing for like maybe a stream, something like that.
Maybe I replace Venusaur with Whim too, just so I could have. Grim. Grim has fake tears.
Whimsicott Duraludon? Ooh.
That's like Mike's favorite thing.
Ooh. That's my favorite combination right there. You hit the nail on the head.
I would probably do Whim though.
You probably do Grim.
Does Sableye get fake tears?
I don't know.
I feel like there's a reason people use Grimmsnarl instead.
Maybe.
I don't see fake tears on any common set.
Gets fake out.
Nah.
No. Boo. No, it does not get fake tears. So, boo.
Sad.
Yeah, I think Grimmsnarl would be a good idea. Whimsicott might be a good idea. I don't think you need necessarily Tailwind on that team. Although you might. That would be a good answer to lack of sun.
I would want speed control at like period, just to have it.
That would be.
I could go back to just Sableye over Groudon, and then just find another restricted mon too. Because the thing is that Sableye gives that edge that like, okay, I just bypass all speed control at all. Just like, hey.
So facts, yes, I agree with that. But what if you instead of bringing the weather, brought the Sableye, had the Quash, had the Will-O-Wisp, had the Foul Play, but replaced Sunny Day for something else?
Just didn't run Sun at all?
Or ran Sun through Groudon and just swapped out the Zacian.
That also works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably use it a lot less, but yeah.
Maybe.
So I feel like the sun setting with the Sableye is what allowed me to At that point, I could just run Grimmsnarl with Thunderwave and do the exact same thing, and then still have double screens though.
Could be. Could be. I like the idea of swapping out the Sableye into the Groudon in most cases if you ever want to get the sun up, because otherwise you can, like, I found myself when I was playing it going for Quash's first turn a lot more often than not. So
Then Sunny Days, yeah.
yeah, like a lot more often than Sunny Days, exactly. Because I didn't need that power. What I needed was for the opponent not to KO my partner Pokemon first.
Yeah, you need that speed control.
Mm-hmm. So maybe, I mean, all stuff to consider. Maybe you at home listening to this want to give that a try. Taunt exactly is another great move to put on. Snarl is another great move to put on. Not so much for... oh yeah, actually Sableye does get Snarl, strangely enough.
It looks like it could snarl at something.
It looks like it shouldn't. Look at it, it's just like...
Also, another Pokemon I was thinking would have worked well with the team was Rillaboom.
Mm-hmm.
That would be another Intimidate, but if I'm removing Zacian, I'll care about that less. Rillaboom would have just helped me in the Trick Room matchups when I was against Trick Room and being able to still have priority while in Trick Room.
Do you know what probably could exist if one smart person was so smart?
What? Trick Room a Trick Room?
No. So it's all math. Everything is math. Pokemon is math. As much as the people who aren't strong in math want to believe, Pokemon is math. What one could theoretically do is input all 6 Pokemon with all of their 6 Pokemon's EVs and IVs and moves and abilities and held items, and pop that into like a tracker or something. And then they pop in an enemy team, and they try and populate it with as much as possible abilities, moves, spreads if you can, to get more accurate calculations, and then hit a run button, and then it runs all the variations of moves and attacks and chances and powers and Dynamaxes that it possibly could, and it gives you a win rate versus this specific team. That is the biggest brain play that anybody could possibly make in the game of Pokemon.
Mike doesn't even want to play Pokemon anymore. He just wants to know what wins.
I want to be an analyst.
Hey, Pierre, figure it out.
Figure it out. Exactly. That would be, oh my gosh, that would be incredibly insane.
That would be great to know, but somewhat impossible to do.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, take it up against the meta or something like that, like the high meta. Take like it's chess. It's basically chess. This game is chess already. The more I'm like talking it through, the more I'm like, there's probably going to be like some very, very heavy roadblocks along the way. But a lot of it comes with like, what are the assumptions that you're making? Are you making the assumption that like certain Pokemon are always going to be bringing certain items? Are you going to be actually writing in like all possible EV spreads? Like, yeah, no. No.
That would also just take forever.
It would be my life's work. It would
take forever to code. It'd take forever to run.
Yeah.
The game would just be like going in through infinite possibilities.
Infinite scripts.
Let's code it, Mike. We're going to start tonight live on the page.
I don't want to. I so badly don't want to.
Print. Hello, world. I did it, guys.
You've done it. You've done intro to coding. Coding 101.
Hello, world, and all who inhabit it.
Pokésportsanalysis.com, where you go into it and all it says is hello world at the top left. You did it, Kevin. Just applause.
Oh boy. Pikalytics 2.0. Let's call our boy Griffin. Hey, Griff.
Yeah. What do you think about
that?
Boy,
do we got an idea for you. We'd like 60% royalties. Thanks. Oh, you're coding all of it? No, that's fine. 60% is a good number.
You got it. Ideas are worth something, right?
You gotta call it pikalytics.com/Pokésports.
Wait, there's a Stonjourner.
Oh yeah, that's
Kevin.
Wolf Blick's team.
Imagine. Oh, it's Wolf Blick. Okay, that makes sense. So Imagine
Oh,
going
there's the
into
meme. Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, imagine going into the Players Cup 3. You wake up that morning, you have your breakfast, you go downstairs, you pick up your Nintendo Switch and you turn it on with force, with gusto, and you say, "Today I play the Players Cup 3." You put in your Pokemon, you put in your Zacian, your Venusaur. It has G-Max in it because you've given it that soup. You have Torkoal. Of course, you gotta have the Incineroar because why wouldn't you? The Thunderous Incarnate. But then you think, "Oh wait, will I bring the Charizard?" Don't really feel like it. Today, I feel like bringing Stunjourner.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, it makes sense.
Does
It's
it?
not even a bad Pokemon. I was hoping people would make him pick Cosmog. Yeah, he ran this thing on Twitter that says, pick a Pokemon that I bring to Players Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And people voted for Stonjourner. I'm like, guys, Stonjourner's not even that bad. Like, you did him a favor.
Can I take a look at that real quick? Stunjourner. I want to know its big ol' stats. It's got 470 base, but it's got 20 special attack. It's also got 20 special defense, but 20 special attack. I mean, you don't want to put this thing up against like anybody with any kind of fire breath or mind powers, but you definitely can bring it up against anything else. 100 base attack, 100 base HP, 135 base defense.
Hey, just give this a Focus Sash. You won't even notice the special defense.
I just don't. What? No, I'm not. Would you put a Kartana with a Focus Sash?
No. Which is why I'm gonna put this with the Focus Sash and the Kartana with the Assault Vest.
That's fair. Okay. What are people actually running?
It also gets Wide Guard. Like it isn't a bad Pokemon. It gets Wide Guard, it gets Rock Slide. Only 2 moves you really need. It also gets Power Spot, which is like really good.
What's a Power Spot?
Being next to the Pokemon powers up all of its moves by 1.5. It powers up your ally Pokemon's moves, all of them.
It's a helping hand forever?
It's a yes. It's Friend Guard but damage.
What?
So that's what I'm saying. It's not bad. Like even if it's Sash, that's 2 turns, you're doing a lot of damage.
I guess so.
And you have that station? Oh lol. Bye.
Yeah, that Wide Guard is pretty key, huh? Wide Guard, Rock Slide, Superpower, Safeguard. I'm looking at top 4 moves on Picolytics, top 5 being Protect. And then everything else is like not worth bringing.
Don't be surprised if you see Zacians on Battle Spot later today, guys.
Zacians?
Not Zacians, Stonejourners.
Yeah. It's a mono rock. It's so weird. It's nothing else. It's just a rock.
I mean, what else is what's Stonehenge?
That is
Stonehenge is just a rock.
It's just rocks. I mean, at this point, it might be part grass. You got some moss up in it. Like, I don't know.
Did you really want it to be a grass rock type? We need Cradily Part 2.
Cradily, exactly.
You ever think about that? Like, with almost 900 Pokemon, how do we still have type combinations that weren't fulfilled?
Right? We still have type combinations that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there's so many. There's like Bug Dragon.
Bug Dragon, there was such a good chance to do that for like Flygon, but instead they went ground.
Yeah, they were like, you know what? This Flygon is a ground type.
Yeah.
It's a fly ground type.
Normal is missing from like so many typings. Normal ice, normal poison, normal bug, normal rock, normal ghost, normal steel.
You know, most flying types are also normal type. There's really little single flying types.
Yeah.
The only couple of single flying types are Tornadus, Rookidee, and the one after Rookidee, Corvisquire.
Wow. I'm looking at a website that may or may not be outdated because I'm trying to think like where's anything introduced with.
It's so interesting they don't have a grass fire type, considering they did that whole like coral reef bleaching thing for Cursula. They could have totally done wildfire for a grass fire type as well.
Definitely.
Just to bring awareness to wildfire. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Missed opportunities. I want a leaf just running around burning all the time.
We're still missing electric fighting, I think.
The closest thing you have is like
Zapdos. Galarian Zapdos.
oh,
But
no, I was
it's
gonna
not
say Zeraora because it gets a lot of fighting type
Oh,
moves
yeah,
for
yeah.
no reason.
No, it's just an electric type that likes to fight. Ice poison.
Electivire is a missed opportunity for that. I feel like
Yeah.
Electivire could be an electric fighting type.
Yeah. We don't have an ice poison yet. Could get
That
that.
could be like a
Okay, let's make Pokemon. Yep, go for it.
An ice poison type. They could have like you know how people are worried that with the glaciers the glaciers melting.
Wow. Protect
That
the glaciers, folks.
they're gonna be releasing new viruses into the atmosphere that we haven't seen for many years.
Oh, because they've been
You
frozen.
have one of those viruses.
Okay, Fighting Ground.
It's like an ice muck.
Fighting Ground could be like a Diggersby. Diggersby could have been Fighting Ground. Instead, they went normal, which is like, I mean, that's another one that was missing, but still.
Also true, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally could have seen it.
Now hold on, we this list is outdated because Poison Psychic we totally have now in Galarian Slowbro, right?
Yes,
We got one.
we did it.
Still don't have a Poison Steel though.
It was a rehash, but we did it.
It was a rehash, but we did it.
I don't think we want a poison steel 4 times weak to ground.
No thanks. I think I'm good. Ground Fairy, that's fine.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Ground fairy.
What kind
Claydol.
of spirit was in the ground, huh?
You know
Claydol,
those garden gnomes. Those garden gnome Pokemon. We're missing the garden gnome Pokemon. You
Missing a
see,
garden gnome Pokemon. Bug and Dark.
easy moth, firefly.
Moth, yeah. Just
Come
make
on.
another moth. How many moths?
Like a
can-
bug in the dark.
Yep.
We could do it.
Bug in the dock. Bug
Dock.
and Dragon you mentioned, yeah. Rock Ghost.
Runarigus, but not
Mm,
Runarigus.
Yeah,
They
well, that
have
one's
rock ground.
right? Yeah, that one's Ground Ghost.
Rock and ground are the same type. Let's be honest. Like rocks are ground, and grounds are rocks.
Except
you know?
one loves flying types and one hates flying types.
One hates electric, one loves electric.
One doesn't mind it, I guess.
One is okay.
Unless you're a Rhydon, in which case you love it.
Both
love
hate
it.
grass. Both hate water.
Yeah. Is there
One
really
hates
no fairy
ice.
dragon?
One's like, I love ice.
Is there really
fairy
no fairy dragon?
Yes, there is. Mega Altaria.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Gnomish, the gnome Pokemon.
Gnomish.
Don't like it. All right, cool. Well, that was fun. That was a fun little conversation.
It's a Drake Gnomish.
Drake Gnomish.
Oh, no. Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom. Okay. With that, that's going to be the end of Pokésports forever.
Forever?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, me and Mike are on the same wavelength and we don't
Yeah.
even know it yet.
It's true. I want to thank everybody for listening. You can always check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Pokésports, where we stream and do our daily videos. Become a member. Become a November. Become a member. You now have access to one more emote than we had before. We have a bunch more emotes. One that we're just about to add. So that's pretty exciting. You get things such as extra Kevin streams where Kevin has been playing Mystery Dungeon. How's that been?
In the week because I was praying for Players Cup, but
Mhm.
I genuinely enjoy this game. And I enjoy giving the Pokemon the people's names and then watching me just hold their hand to death most of the time.
Oh no.
Just walk them down the dark path.
We get a game over with all of our friends.
It's okay. I could send this tofu in against this Zapdos. Good luck.
Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at PokesportsPod or Instagram at PokesportsPodcast. Apple Podcasts is a great place to rate and review things. So if you're feeling like doing it, maybe do that for us. You can also check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/Pokésports where we have our next month's Liege starting up in just over a week and a half.
You got time. Join now.
Got time. We just started up the finals for this month's Liege for the Series 8. Yeah, you did it, Kevin. You made it.
I made it.
That's so
Hot
great.
dog coming back.
Hot dog.
Redemption arc?
Redemption arc, exactly. Redemption Arceus.
Redemption bark.
Redemption bark. Oh, very good. I want to give a big patron shout out to Elijah, Braden, Colton, Sheldon, Travis, Servo, Mark, Carlo, Corey, Dreamweaver, Jack S, Ro Ixon, Scotty D, Alex, Joseph, Kevin K, King Boo, Martine, Ahmed, Rowan, Chris P, George, Greg, Lucas, Make It Totter, Pink Hat Boy, Ryan, Soen, Mud Pierre, and Mod Jofu. I want to give a big thanks to M Dash for every single second of every single piece of music you hear on this podcast, including but not limited to the Driftveil theme that I decided to bring back just today. I've been using the Diantha theme for a while, but I wanted to try out that Driftveil one. It's such a bop. Beep bump bump beep bump 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 beep bump. It's so good. Go and check them out. youtube.com/mdash. Cool. Kevin, you got anything to plug this week?
Tuesday. If you're listening to this on a Wednesday, sorry guys. Maybe next week. I'm gonna be doing some viewer battles.
Beatles.
I'm gonna be doing some Beatles. On stream, youtube.com/Pokésports. So if you're not a viewer, become a viewer, and you can battle me if you're fast enough and can type a code on time.
There you go. Cool. All right. Well, with that, we're going to end it there. I want to thank everybody, and before we go, I just want to thank everybody for joining us for the Players Cup. I was watching rather silently as Kevin was going through his battles, and I saw a lot of people in chat just cheering him on. And I thought that was really cool to see. Really glad to have your support during all that. And Kevin will never say it, but he loves you very much.
I love you.
Oh no, he said it. Well, see you next time. All right.